Hey, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel named Learning to Learn. So this is my YouTube channel, as you can see, and you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and as well as on Unacademy. I'm a verified educator on Unacademy. Right now we have a number of courses on Unacademy, especially targeting for NTA UGC NET category. So if you're preparing for NTA UGC NET, these are all the special classes which have started from 26th, and it will go till 30, and then we'll have the schedule for the next month. So before going any further, as you all are aware that we have NTA UGC NET exams from the first week of October. So all the people are requested to join these classes as much as possible, and these are 100% free classes, so you can practice various MCQs. So in this particular week we are trying to complete 100 MCQs of ICT, 200 MCQs of people and environment, 120 MCQs of audit, and 80 MCQs of of management as well. Apart from that, if you want to join Unacademy Plus platform, which is a great platform for a detailed revision as well as for the detailed complete course of paper 1 as well as paper 2 any subject, so you can join Unacademy Plus. These are the various prices, and there is going to be a price hike for 1 month and 3 months. For 1 month and 3 months there is going to be a price hike, so make sure you do join Unacademy Plus, and you can use Aditi Live, ADITILIVE, Aditi Live referral code to avail 10% discount on your Unacademy subscription. So make sure you join, and this is the entire schedule of special classes which are taking place. So these are the classes which took place from 27th to 30. These are the classes which you can watch live free of course. You don't even have to pay any money. So make sure you join these classes, and let's start with today's topic. Hey, so let's start with today's topic. In the last day we did what are groups and what are the basic characteristics of the group. So this we have done in the last class, group, okay, and we did the various features of the group and the definition of the group. Today we'll be discussing importance of group. So before starting today's topic, let me just give you an idea what is a group. Group is a set of two or more than two individuals who come together for a common objective. Okay, now if we are going to discuss about the importance, so let's start. The first is, the group plays an important role in an individual's life, as a man is considered as social being. So of course, if a person is a social animal, he cannot work in isolation. So what he needs to do, he needs to be in a group, he needs to be in set of the people, so that he can feel secure, he can feel motivated, inspired, and then he can work. The social group in form of family is very important for the personality development. An individual who develops without a family does not have a balanced personality. In the same way, in the business organization also, group plays a very important role. Every business organization itself is a group having many subgroups. So yes, if I consider this as a company or a business, they have groups, and then they have subgroups like various departments, sub departments, etc. There are these group performers many layman functions in the organization. These functions are, so right now we are trying to discuss the various functions of the group. Okay, so why group is important? Group is important to enhance the personality of the individual, as well as to achieve the organizational goals, achieve personal goals, and set a sense of satisfaction into an individual. Apart from that, these are the functions what we are studying right now. So let me start with the point number 1. These group provide norms and rules for its members. Yes, only because there is a group, then there will be a set of rules and regulations which the individuals have to follow. The group develops and provides that environment to its members which develops personal relations. So here an environment is produced so that they can enhance the relationship, thus by feeling or fulfilling their social needs. The next is the group also helps its members to solve their job related problems. Yes, because it is a group where individuals share their feelings, problems with each other, it will also help not only to give a psychological satisfaction but to solve their problems. It can be personal problems sometimes or official problems. The groups develop a sense of unity, cooperation, understanding, and supportiveness. So this enhances the working of the individual because he feels accepted by the group. He feels that his problems has been understood and there will be a solution to his problems. So the sense of satisfaction is one of the important functions of the group. Group provides an identity to the employees which develops a feeling of belongingness to the members. Yes, it helps to develop a feeling of belongingness, thus increasing the sense of satisfaction. Due to this feeling of belongingness, self recognition, self security, self esteem develops. So all these feelings start to develop because of belongingness. Thus, by being in a group, an individual keeps himself under new norms and regulations. They take collective actions to develop the feelings of the group or to develop the feelings of security from the management. Now, to conclude this, I could say that the functions of group are very important, as they provide personal relationships, sense of belongingness, understanding, supportiveness, and self security, self esteem. All these things are developed in an individual with the help of group only. So group becomes one of the very crucial factors in an individual's life which he or she should never ignore. Now moving forward, let's just try to discuss the kinds of group. We have basically two types of groups, the formal group and informal group, but these can be further divided into different types as well. The formal groups are further divided into task group and command group, whereas the informal group can be divided into two categories, that is interest group and friendship group. Now let us try to understand these. Formal group and informal group can be divided into task group and command group, whereas informal groups can be divided into interest group and friendship group. Now let us try to understand these four different types of groups under formal groups and informal groups. First is formal groups. As you all know, formal groups are the groups which are made by the top level organization for organizing purpose. Like in the organization we have human resource management, marketing management, production management, etc. So this is an hierarchy which is actually made by the officials or the company's management for the fulfillment of organizational goals. So formal groups are those groups which are the part of organization structure. These groups are formed purposefully by the management. These groups are formed in order to perform the functions of the organization effectively. So here these formal groups will try to achieve organizational goals. These formal groups are deliberately means purposefully made by the organization management to achieve organizational goals or to do organization functions. So if you read this entire page, you will find that exactly what I'm saying, it is explained here. Now let's go to the task group. Task group is a part of formal group. These consist of all those employees who involve themselves in a particular task and work jointly together to complete the task. So here task group means that these people are there only to complete a particular task of the group. If the task is completed, yes, the group has achieved its objectives. Now let's go for the command group. These consist of those employees who falls in the middle level, who are involved in the work of low level management or low level employee. These command groups have direct interaction with the level executives or with employees they keep in control. So if you have ever seen like the pyramid structure of levels of management, so we have top level, middle level and bottom level. So command group considers to be the middle level, which acts as a linking pin between top level as well as bottom level. So the top level makes objectives, strategies, policies, rules, regulations, objectives, etc. These are communicated to the middle level. Middle level thus divides these objectives into various departments, sub departments, and then communicates it to further for low level management so that they can achieve. So this is called command group. I hope that is also clear. Now let's quickly go towards informal groups. Informal groups are those groups which are not deliberately made, but which are made automatically out of same hobbies, interest, etc. So if you have been, or if you have ever worked in a job, or if you have gone to schools or colleges, there are formal structures. Yes, there are teachers, there are your boss, there are management staff, etc. But certain people who might not be in your department, who might be a boss, who might be a teacher, but because you feel comfortable around them, you have same interest, same likes, same hobbies, you might end up liking each other and become friends and make a group. That is informal group. So informal groups are totally different from formal groups. They are formed automatically within the organization and does not play management does not play any role in its formation. So management is not deliberately trying to make these groups. These groups are automatically created because of a sense of need, because of belongingness, because of same interest, hobbies, etc. So friendship can be considered as a informal group. Certain times informal group have very strong belongingness to each other. Now if you read this, you'll get the same thing, okay? But if you have any doubts, you could ask. Now this informal groups can be divided into two further different types, that are interest groups and friendship groups. Interest means, as the name suggests, the interest of the members are common, the hobbies, likes are common. That's why they became friends at the first place, or that's why they became a group at the first place. So they are the part of the informal group which are formed as a consequence of similar interests and hobbies. All the members who fall under same line of interest forms their groups respectively for the attainment and fulfillment of their wishes or the interest. So these are interest group because of common interest or common hobbies, they are together. Now let us discuss about friendship group. Friendship group are those groups in which all the members who share their emotional feelings, who are emotionally dependent upon each other, become friends and forms their own groups known as friendship groups. It is not necessary that all members have the same interest or aptitude, but they have same emotions, they have same feelings, and they have a sense of belongingness towards each other. That is why this has become a friendship group. Now I'm reading further. It is not necessary that all the members have the same interest or aptitude. They come under the groups for their social needs. This is a very crucial point. Emotional satisfaction. So the conclusion is, both the formal and informal groups holds a very important position in the organization working, because you cannot have only formal groups or you cannot have only informal groups in the organization. So both formal and informal groups coexist in any organization, and you would require to manage both formal organizations as well as informal organizations, formal groups as well as informal groups, to achieve the objectives of the business, to achieve the objectives of the individual, and thus increasing the efficiency of the organization. So this was it for today. I hope you like it. Let's meet in the next lecture. Bye everyone.